But yeah, let's talk about some stuff that I picked up. And I guess first and foremost, we'll talk about what I got at the store yesterday. The very same store where I was looking at some BattleTech stuff. I did not get BattleTech. um, but yeah, this is what I picked up at the store today, the Wodom pod. So this is actually a model that I've been thinking about getting for a good long while, but I just was kind of hesitant to pull the trigger. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes there's models that they're like, yeah, I think that looks cool. I think I could do something neat with it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get something else. Maybe I'll get something else. So that kind of went on for several months, if not a year or so, uh, and finally, I just thought that now was the time. Now is the time to get into this. The Wodom Pod Maze mobile suit from Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. I've never seen the show, but I do know that the original design is a Sid Mead design, or it's based off of a Sid Mead design as it appears in Turn A Gundam. However, what you see here in this model is not to scale with how it appears in Turn A Gundam, because this thing should be actually much, much larger in the show. So this is to scale for Gundam Build Fighters Re-Rise, but we have yet to see a properly scaled, like, Wodom Pod, I guess you'd say, as it appears in Turn A. And my plan is to kind of do something with this and really kind of depart from its design. I was actually trying to find some of the pictures that I had seen of people doing customized work with this to make it look more, I don't want to say Machining Krieger like, but more like kind of more grungy, more military, sort of realistic looking, I guess. But I had trouble finding it. I couldn't find those pictures, but that's kind of the idea of the concept, is to kind of take this very kind of very sci-fi War of the Worlds looking pod thing and turn it into something that feels much more grounded, shall we say. That's the plan, at least. So yeah, I picked this up yesterday. It was, as far as I could tell, was the only one that they had in store, and I looked at a bunch of my local retailers and none of them had it. So this is like, you know, it was kind of one of those now or never type things. I wouldn't be surprised if in a week or two there's some kind of sale that happens in Canada for like spring or Easter, what have you. But I just felt like it was kind of a good time to get it now, and I would like to reserve this as being my backup plan for the GBWC. So the thing that I was doing earlier, also a Build Divers kit, the Red Beret. That's sort of my main competition build for the year, but this is kind of like plan B, shall we say. Same on the Wodom, yeah. Oh, Diva. Oh. Yeah. So, some very large pieces. And if you look at the panel lining, that sort of panel lining detail, it's very unusual compared to what we kind of normally think of when we think of gunpla and surface details. Again, this is something that's styled after Sid Mead, so that's a part of it. But it gives it a different look, a different feel, and I'm the type of person that really likes weird stuff. Not too many runners, to be honest. And it looks like it does come with a stand, which I didn't realize. Or at least, yeah, it's a really basic stand. You guys know this is the very, very bare bones type of stand, which I feel like all Gundam kits should come with, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of big pieces, as you can see here, very big. So I don't think it's going to be too hard, and we might actually work on this today. Mobile doll. L divers, who are electronic lifeforms, use gunplas called mobile dolls when they move around in the real world As seen with Mei and Sarah, mobile dolls are usually built in a way that reflects the appearance of L-divers, but some L-divers choose Gundam-type gunplas as their mobile dolls. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wodom Pod. Mei, an L-diver, came up with the idea to make her mobile doll board another gunpla to engage in more strategic gunpla battles. The Wodom Pod was based on the concept of the Wodom featured in Turn A and was produced by Tsukasa Shiba and built by Mei herself. Mei became a member of the Build Divers and further customized the Wodom Pod as the battle on planet Eldora became more intense and upgraded it into the Wodom Pod Plus. This upgrade was possible only because Mei was a member of the Build Divers. You guys got the lore. Have to learn the lore, guys. So yeah. It doesn't seem too complex. But yeah, very strange looking. Yeah, it's way smaller, yeah. But very cool looking. IMO. So yeah, I picked up just yesterday. It's one of those things I was thinking, if I wanna have this as my optional plan B kit, I should probably get it sooner rather than later. And yeah, we might kind of work on it now-ish. Built one long while back. Yeah, still pretty cool. I think so too. Yeah, I prefer an actual Wodom. I would be really interested in seeing how big an actual Wodom would be. Future Cop LAPD. Yeah, so let's talk about the other thing that I got. It was something that I ordered. I try and buy locally as much as possible, or order from my local stores. But I was shopping around, been too much, so I was just going around looking for something that I could get a pretty decent deal on, and also something that wasn't available locally. That's the other thing too. And so I was browsing and I actually discovered this store, Andy's Hobby Headquarters, which is it's a pretty big chain. I guess there's like a really big store in the US, and they also have a Canadian store as well, and they have some pretty good deals there. Yeah, they even wrote something here. I'm pretty sure that this is just a printout, but yeah, that's the Canadian store. And I saw that they had some stuff that either my local places didn't have or was just a little too pricey. And as a bit of background, I have to kind of tell you about this first, which is something that I picked up around the time of the tax-free model kits. Sorry, the whole tax-free thing, tax holiday that they were doing in Canada all the way up till February. And I picked this up. It's the Sieg Springer Queen's Guard. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on stream. This is from Hexa. I haven't built a Hexa model before, but I did like the idea of this horse. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's like a knight on a horse, right? And if you look on the sides, you can see it's a pretty cool looking horse. And some different ways you can kind of pose it and all that, right? And there's all the things that it comes with. But I made a big mistake. It's on me. I feel like it's on me, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there was other people who made this mistake too. So this is the Sieg Springer Queen's Guard version. And as you can see, there's a red horse with a knight on it. And if you look on the side, there's pictures of the knight guy on it. It's just the horse. I opened this up on stream, like in February or something like that, and I'm going through the box, and it kind of dawned on me that it's just the horse. And yeah, like that's the thing with these Hexagear models, is that they have the mechs, and they have the mechs and the animal type, almost Zoid-like beasts and mechanical beasts, and then any kind of pilot, fighter, mount, anything like that is actually an entirely separate thing. And I should have known better, but for some foolish reason, I just thought that it came with it. So this was in early February, and I kind of thought, like, well, I'll just kind of forget about this for now. Because just the guy, if you want to get it, is fairly pricey. A lot of kotobukiya kits are pretty up there in price. It's kind of just how it is. But I really wasn't prepared, or I wasn't really in the mood to spend more money to fix up a mistake of mine. But enter Andy's Hobby headquarters, and as it turns out, they did have the Governor Queen's Guard, and it was a pretty decent price. It wasn't so at other places I've seen this for like 60, 65, 70, on and on, right? I've seen it kind of go higher and higher. And again, I just was not about to pay that much. But at this store, I think it was like 40 something, and they also had some discounts if you are a first-time buyer at their site. So that meant that I could get it at a pretty good price. So again, that was one of those things. Even at that price, I was still kind of like, I don't know if I want to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I can think of something else. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, I'm not really going to be able to find it at a better price than that. Let's face it, you wanted the horse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the lance here, or the lance-like weapon, is insanely long relative to the model. These models are actually really small. I think they're something like 1 in 20th scale. I'm not sure, but there's something along those lines where they're much smaller than, let's say, a Mecha Musume kit, which is typically 1 in 10th scale, right? These are gonna be almost like a G.I. Joe or some shit like that. That's what I think. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll be even smaller than this guy. That's my guess. And again, all of that combined, I was sort of like, gosh, I don't know if I really want to get into this. I don't know if I want to buy it, but it was a good deal, and I felt like I said, the timing was right. I might as well pick it up. We can open it up and take a quick look. We might as well, right? Gun lance. 4 legs. Yeah, insert, put into cart, cash out. 16, 2 Hexagear kits, and green uniform, another cyborg. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. How big are they really? They're not too big, right? We'll take a look at this. I don't think I'll build it right now, but I thought maybe we can just look. And yeah, so how many runners? Not too many runners. This is the shield, very large. Yeah, like 3 inches. Oh, there's some clear parts. Like this is the torso, right? You can see here, that's the torso. But they look neat, and I'm not... Okay, well, here's the hand. If you can see the hands. It's a little baby hands compared to Mecha Musume's. Stuff like that. What did you end up using those kits for, 16? Just out of curiosity. There is a cool little postcard, which is cute. Queen's Guard. Some lore. Yeah, I don't think that the instructions are going to be all that complex. So yeah, this is something... Now I feel... Oh, okay, you haven't built them. This is something where I just wouldn't feel like building the horse kit if I didn't have the guy to go on top. And you can mix and match. You can use any model from Hexa to mount to ride the horse, right? But I did like the look of the whole thing overall. So there you go, Governor's Guard. And in my opinion, it was a pretty good deal for something that I haven't seen locally. So all of that meant that I thought it would be all right to pick that up. And here is the other thing that I picked up from Andy's hobby headquarters, because I was like, well, you know, if I'm buying stuff, might as well get something else, right? And it's a very different change of pace. Forget about Gundams, forget about mechs, forget about Hexagears. I got the after-school cafe table Sousai Shojo Teien full action plastic model kit, 1:10 scale. It's not the girl, it's just the table. It's just the table and the chairs. Just that. I love little sets like that. I haven't built them, got one as a random GIF, and the other... oh, ding and dent sale. Heck yeah, I love those ding and dents. I'm a big fan of the ding and dents. Tables and chairs. We need to talk, yeah. So there we go. This is actually a kit that I've wanted for a good long while. But again, it was just something that was sold out for a good long time. I haven't seen it around. And again, this was on like a pretty discounted price. These Sousai Shojo Teien accessory packs end up being pretty expensive. Again, like kotobukiya. Look at the shiny. Kotobukiya kits tend to be pretty pricey. But when it comes to these little accessories, when it comes to accessories like this, paying, you know, whatever, it's like $40, $50 or whatever, even more, for effectively like a table and 2 chairs and some parfait and bubble tea is a lot. But over at this place, not sponsored, it was a pretty good deal. So I thought, just like with the Hexagear kit, it was probably a good opportunity to pick it up. If I don't get it now, I was probably not going to get anything, probably never going to get it. First dining set. Wasn't a hand-me-down? I feel like everyone's like first dining set is just like a hand-me-down. But yeah, take a quick look. It does come with a printed face and a blank, which is pretty sought after for people that like Mecha Musume kits. Having some blanks and having different facial expressions. This one is, you know, she's kind of got like sticking out her tongue like it's yummy, and some decals too for the eyes. A lot of those accessory packs for Sousai Shojo Teien come with those. And yeah, once again looking at it, the table, very simple, but that'll be cool. And the chairs. I do have the desk. Some of you might know that I had built that Sousai Shojo Teien desk setup. And that's the only accessory pack. Nope, that's a lie. I have other accessory packs, but that was my first one. And there's like the boba, the bubble tea, mini tables and chairs, and there's the fruit and all of that. So yeah, just another little extra thing. Will be nice. That'll be like a fairly easy thing to build and finish. it'll be nice to get that wrapped up. And like I said, I wanted this for a good long while. So that's pretty much it. Is sort of picking up some kits that that I might have been thinking about for a while and just never really pulled the trigger. And I thought, how about we just try and get those now. And they're both from Koto, incidentally. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. And this thing too, the pot.